All right, guys, hey, we're out here at your favorite place. This is the Skyway State Fishing Pier. Now, today we're gonna do something and talk about something a little different. It's typically a tutorial on how to fish out here. Today we're gonna be talking about what not to do at the Skyway Fishing Pier. One of the very first mistakes people make at the Sunshine Skyway Fishing Pier is they purchase a bunch of shrimp. Shrimp is typically a great bait. Everything eats shrimp, there's no denying that. However, at the Skyway, we have a bunch of piranhas, and our piranhas are called pinfish. And there's thousands of tens of thousands of pinfish that inhabit the piers. And unfortunately, the chances of catching a snapper or a game fish underneath the bridge before a pinfish gets it is pretty slim to none. You can use them, but the preferred choice of bait is going to be a pilchard or AKA greenback. Now you catch those either with a sabiki or a cast net. Now keep in mind the rules on the pier have tightened quite drastically because of the birds. So you want to make sure you're watching and following regulations, therefore you're not fined for using a sabiki rig. Yeah. Never lay your rod down for any reason when you have a bait in the water. Why, you might ask? Well, it might be obvious, but I've seen it happen dozens, if not hundreds of times over the past 28 years. This is what happens. Be mindful, guys. You're on the world's longest fishing pier. This fishing pier is made of concrete. So when you slam your rod down, you're gonna break your rod tips, you're gonna rash up your rod, and then you're gonna scratch up your beautiful reel. Some people don't care. I see them run around the bridge and just do whatever they want. But look, then you end up with this, a broken rod tip or a scratched up rod. Every time you scratch your rod, especially if you lay it down on this concrete like this, and it does that, you're essentially creating a weak space or a weak spot in your blank. So when you do finally hook a big fish, this is a good reason why these rods break where they do. Typically it's because guys, especially with pickups, like to put them in the back of their truck. Those rods lay in between the tailgate and the back of their truck. They wiggle right here, and ultimately that's why when they break right around this area. So just be mindful of how you place your rod down. Hey, respect what God gave you. For you newcomers, as you can tell by this truck that's passing, yeah, you drive on the fishing pier and you fish where you park. So don't be leaving your jig out in the middle of the road or your line and making these ridiculous casts where you can either snag someone behind you or snag a vehicle or dent a vehicle for that matter. Kind of like this guy did in my previous video. Don't be that guy. For the sake of Chris is sanity. Guys, learn how to use your equipment. Stop reeling upside down. This is not how you do this. And if you're left-handed, switch your handles. We live in 2024. You can easily do that by moving this handle to this side and holding the rod and reel the proper way, like this. You don't do this, guys. I've been fishing out here for a very long time, almost 30 years actually, believe it or not. And the only time that I've had to use 2 or 3 rods is when I was shark fishing. You shouldn't have to lay out rods that take up half the pier. Be courteous. Matter of fact, I think Skyway management has implemented rules where you can only lay out 2 rods. So make sure you're being aware of the people around you. Be courteous. You don't need 500 rods to catch a fish. It's usually 1 man, 1 rod. It's all you really need. And it'll prevent you from having that thing happen, where it takes off into the water. All right, so this is my first ever what not to do at the Skyway Fishing Pier. If you want to see part 2, make sure you drop a comment and subscribe. Hey, show some love, guys, and hit that thumbs up. If you want to see more Skyway videos, let me know. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed the content. Till next time, we'll see you on the pier.